on Counter-UxS capability. From maritime approaches to installation defense to real-world operations such as those supported through JIATA 4.1 and ongoing efforts like Epic Fury, the Navy is confronting these threats now, not in the future. And this is not a platform problem, it is a kill chain problem. It requires integrated sensing, decision-making, and response at speed across multiple domains. Our approach to Counter-UxS reflects that reality. We are integrating sensors, effects, and autonomy into layered, scalable defenses and prioritizing rapid fielding so commanders have operationally relevant capability today, not years from now. But the most important shift is in how we deliver capability. For years, the department focused on prototyping and experimentation. What we have learned is that the technology has matured, industry is investing, and the constraint is no longer engineering, it is our ability to adopt innovation at speed. So we have changed the model. We've implemented an acquisition strategy that capitalizes on mature technology, leverages private sector investment, and accelerates adoption through continuous competition. At the center of that strategy is a competitive marketplace with regular and recurring openings that allows new entrants to participate as capability evolves. In this model, companies bring forward mature systems, demonstrate performance, and compete for follow-on production and service contracts. We are not paying for concept development, we are rewarding results. Just as important, we are not acquiring systems as isolated platforms. We are building a modular, open architecture that allows capability to evolve over time. A key element of that approach is containerized payloads. By standardizing interfaces and packaging capability into modular payloads, we can rapidly shift mission sets across unmanned systems and manned ships without redesigning the platform. That allows us to upgrade capability at the speed of software and payload development, rather than at the pace of shipbuilding. We are also ensuring these systems are fielded as complete capability packages, including command and control, autonomy, training, maintenance, and sustainment. In conclusion, we are no longer experimenting with robotic and autonomous systems. We are fielding them at speed and at scale in a way that strengthens the main battle force and expands the Navy's ability to fight and win. At the same time, we are delivering the Counter-UxS capabilities required to defend our forces, our installations, and our operations against a rapidly evolving threat. This is a fundamental shift in how the Navy delivers capability, driven by operational need and aligned to the pace of modern competition. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
All right, thanks both of you. So, Admiral, how long do you have the job, and how long will you have it, and what do you want to end up with when you finish the job? Where do you want the Navy to be when you finish?
Chairman, I've been in the job for about 10 months now, and I don't know how long they'll let me keep doing it.
Is it typically 3 years?
It's typically 2 years, sir.
2 years.
But I've been given another job that needs to be done, and I'm grateful for that. What I'd like at the conclusion of my tenure as N96, as the Director of Surface Warfare, is to make the fleet stronger, to advance the Golden Fleet Initiative, and to expand both the high and low end of our high-low mix that we need for a Navy for the United States.
Should it be a longer billet than 2 years?
I'll stay as long as they let me, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. How long have you had the job, and how long do you think you'll have the job, and what do you want to get done when you're finished?
Yes, sir. PAE RAS was established in December, and I was appointed the same day we stood up the organization. I do understand that the PAEs are expected to take longer tours than a traditional program manager or PEO. So I think the tenure is listed as 4 to 5, 6 years. We have not worked out the formal agreement, but it is expected it's longer than a PEO.
Okay. And your job is not political appointment?
No, sir. I'm a career SES.
Okay. So Admiral, we've watched what Ukraine's done, right? So how would you compare the U.S. manufacturing of unmanned vehicles versus the Ukraine manufacturing, and our ability to, put vessels or any unmanned equipment out there as compared to Ukraine's?
Chairman, while I'm not in a position, unfortunately, to quantify Ukraine's manufacturing capability, I will say that I'm heartened by the outreach we've had from industry and by, frankly, smaller and newer companies that wish to work with us. And I think that it's my responsibility as a requirement sponsor to ensure that we're not closing the door for those companies.
One thing that Senator Kane and I have worked on over the last, Senator Kane's been up here a little longer than I have, but I've been under 7 years. We've really tried to make sure that we're not buying Chinese drones. Mm-hmm. has that had an impact on the opportunity for American manufacturers?
I don't believe that it has. I think that our defense partners, our industry partners understand the legal requirements for selling gear to the Department of War and the Department of the Navy. And so I would be surprised if any of our industry partners came to us and said, we have a great idea, but we just found out that we can't sell you our stuff because it comes from the PRC. I don't expect them to be surprised by that requirement, Senator.
Okay. So do you know the amount of money, maybe I'll just, if you can just, I'll give you my question, but how much money has the Navy gotten and what would be the return so far? And then my understanding is there was a MSUV budget drop to $171 million in fiscal 2027. Is that right? Does that make sense? It seems like they're dropping the amount of investment.
I understand the question, and I appreciate you looking for additional investment. Across the Future Years Defense Plan, we plan to acquire quite a few MUSVs, Chairman, and using PAE RAS's marketplaces will involve more than a single supplier could give us. And I'll defer to Ms. Gassler if she wants to add any detail.
Senator, including the One Big Beautiful Bill, which had $2.1 billion for MUSVs, we received approximately $1.95 billion in procurement funds, the rest in RDT&E to do our experiments and testing and such. When you add that to the rest of the FIDIP that has dropped today and out, it's approximately $6.2 billion for MUSV. The $1.9 billion that we have now will actually provide deliveries across FY27. So when we add that, those expenditures and that investment in industry plus the funds we have in 27, we feel we have sufficient funds for 27, and then you do see it go back up in 28 and out to sustain that.
How many different pieces of equipment do we get? How many unmanned vessels or?
Certainly, sir. So we just closed the MUSV solicitation Friday, and we are going through the proposals now, so I can't talk in detail about that. We do have an objective number we are aiming for, approximately 30 in the first buy, and we will open the marketplace again for additional requirements as we receive them from our requirements resource sponsor.
So you're saying that we'll have spent $6 billion and we'll get 30?
No, sir. That's just in